Now, the last file we're going to be creating inside of the MOD folder is called clear.php. And inside of this file, we start with the PHP tag and require once, again with the and symbol, require once, and we're going to require our config file, which is inside of the inc folder. Okay, now we go for files equals helper get files by extension, and we're looking for the upload path and then file underscore extension. If isn't empty files, then for each files as file, I'll go for file array equals explode ds file, then file name equals array underscore pop, and we using our file array so that we get the last item from this array after exploding using a directory separator, obviously, which contains the file name. Now we go for file name array equals explode, and we're using the hyphen now, file name, then we have file name date equals array shift file name array, which is array shift returns the first item from the array, so which contains obviously our date and time, but all numbers basically combined together. So now we need to set it up in a proper date and time format. Date time equals date y, capital Y, hyphen m hyphen d, capital H, colon I, colon s, and then string to time, there we go, and then semicolon after all this, obviously. So we go for substring file name date, and we go from the 0 character to the 4th character, which is the year, then concatenating this with the hyphen. We go for obviously not comma, it's going to be dot here, substring, and we're going for the file name date. I'm just going to copy the name of this variable here. File name date, now we start from the 4th character, only 2 characters for obviously the month. Then we go, I'm just going to copy all this. So we've got month, then we have date, which will be from the 6th character, 2 characters as well. Then we're going to have from the 8th character, we have hour. Then we have from the next, we have from the 10th character, we have minutes. And we have seconds from the 12th character. The difference here is obviously after the day, we have space, and then they are separated with a colon here. And the last item, obviously seconds, don't need anything after this. So that's our date time. Now what we do next is date time over equals string to time, and we go for date time, and we concatenating this with +1 hour. We want to remove outdated files which are older than 1 hour from the upload date. And now we check if time, the current time, is more than date time over, then unlink file, and that's going to remove the outdated file, the file which is on the server for longer than an hour. So that's everything. How would you remove this? Obviously you would simply call this file. If we go back to our browser, you go to MOD folder and then clear.php. If we call this file, obviously it's blank file because it's only the code which processes behind the scenes. You obviously can't see anything in a source because it's PHP file. So it's all good. Now, you could call it every day just like this, or you could set up the cron job. You would have to check with your hosting company whether you can set up the cron job, and there are plenty of tutorials on how to set the cron jobs, basically using a cron tab. Or some of the hosting companies have the standard interface, actually, which you can use, actually user interface, which you can use to easily set up the recurring jobs, basically by pointing to the path to this clear.php file to run, let's say, every hour, something like this, to execute it every hour. So